I live in harmony with myself. When I find a girl who is more beautiful than me, then my life will be successful. Dad didn't like it. He sometimes calls me a faggot.
Who is an androgyne?
It's someone who resembles a certain gender or has certain features. To me, it's a person who possesses characteristics of both genders in their personality. I don't understand why many people have stereotypes. If someone has long hair and resembles the opposite gender, they're automatically labeled an androgyne. It seems like there was a need to label this.
Who are you, a man or a woman?
I just feel like a person. I understand that I am a boy. Sometimes I feel like a man, and at other times, I feel like a complete woman. The last time I felt like a woman was today, on public transport. Who do I feel like? Naturally, a man. I can look any way I want, but it's essential that my actions are clear, confident, and responsible. Men are known by their actions.
Is androgyny the same as homosexuality?
Androgyny rarely implies homosexual relationships. It's simply that a person's aesthetic preference is such that they are attracted to girls. And so they might even project this onto themselves a bit. This is a stereotype I'm fighting against. I want to show that they are not the same. You have to label it somehow. Gay, androgyne. What's the difference? If a person wants to look like a girl and sleeps with men, good for them. If they want to look like a girl and don't want to sleep with men, sleep with women, that's fine too. When I find a girl who is more beautiful than me, then my life will be successful. I was in a relationship for 4.5 years. I dated a girl who told me that she didn't like the muscles I developed from going to the gym.
Tell us about your childhood. Did you feel different from other kids?
In my childhood, I had issues because I was not like other boys. I liked to wear my mother's jewelry. In my family, there are 5 kids, all completely different, each with their quirks, and my parents just saw me as another cool, exceptional child. I was closer to my mom. I think she probably liked that aspect of me. Dad didn't like it. I think he wanted a son he could be proud of. He sometimes calls me a faggot. Were people confused about my gender in childhood? Yes, always. My parents handled it very well. They explained whether it was good or bad. Just because someone mistook you for a girl, you have to behave differently. That never happened. I would go to school, and I might be, say, called with bad words. They did call me that. Maybe pushed around a bit. There was no outright beating or anything. Called me a faggot. I acted like a sissy. I could, grow my nails 3 millimeters, do my manicure. I can't say that I was bullied in childhood. There weren't any sharp or negative comments, no. They might have called me a doll. A class teacher once, when I wasn't at school, held the class after lessons, what she usually didn't do, and talked to them about how Andre is a unique person, that I have my own quirks, and they shouldn't treat me badly. In school, I mostly hung out with girls because, initially, they are smarter. There were boys who were more neutral, negative, but more neutral. They might say something sharp to you during a lesson. But then, during math tests, we would become the BFF. As we both knew we'd get about the same grade, we both understood roughly the same, and it was easier to think together. But then math would end, and everything would go back to how it was.
What challenges are you facing now?
Due to my androgyny, I once had an incident where a group of drunk guys followed me, loudly discussing what they would do to me, even kill me. It was in the evening, so whether you ignore it or not, you hear it. It was scary. There are people who feel the need to tell you who you are, what you are, and how you should be. Why is your butt better than your girlfriend's? You're living your life wrong. I think these people probably have a lot of their own doubts and questions about themselves. I was in a cafe. I went to the restroom, and a guy comes in. He looks at me, then at the sign. He started getting really nervous. I told him, "It's all good, come on in, dear." "Is this your passport?" "Yes." "Where are you going?" "Why are you going there?" "When did you have the surgery? Or have you already had it?" I hand over my card, and they say, "Miss, this isn't your card." I'm like, "What do you mean? It says male on it." I say, "Miss, look carefully." And there were times, yeah, where they'd say, let's get acquainted. Listen, open your eyes. You're talking to a guy. Yes, a guy with long hair. There were times when I'd go to a nightclub, and they'd let me in as a girl. Yes. What's the big deal? You're the one who got it wrong, not me.
Have you ever considered changing your gender?
That's a stupid question. No, I haven't considered it. I don't understand people who do that. I'm not against changing gender. And I consider, well, future possibilities. Maybe I'd be more comfortable in a female body. No, never thought about it. I'm 31. I live in harmony with myself. I like being the guy Andre with long hair, a feminine face, and a very small Adam's apple. I love my body. I love myself as I am.
Are you comfortable living in your country?
It's wonderful. I love this country. I adore it. For someone who's different from the majority, it's comfortable to live in our country if you have a decent social circle and you can ignore the crowd's opinion. Then it's comfortable to live anywhere, however you want. Problems have always arisen in Europe. There were stares. They might even ask you to step out and go into a restroom without a gender designation, or ask you to go into the women's room so as not to confuse men. I feel both good and uncomfortable at the same time. Good, because I get a lot of attention. If I lived abroad walking down the street, I wouldn't get as much attention from passers-by. But on the other hand, you can easily encounter aggression from people here.
Do you plan to start a family?
I don't want a family. I think it's foolish to start a family when you haven't established yourself. In general, I don't like children. Let the flowers of life grow elsewhere. Yes, I want to start a family with a loved one. It could be a girl or it could be a boy. No, I currently have no plans to start a family, as I don't feel ready for it. Probably because there's no one around who I'd want to be with. It doesn't matter to me what kind of person. What matters is feeling good inside.
Can you imagine wanting to stop being androgynous?
I live with this every day. How can one feel androgynous? I don't know. It doesn't make sense in my head. God forgive me, maybe someone else feels that way, but I don't. A person is a person. A man is a man. It's possible, but it would mean I've shifted more in one direction. Maybe more masculine or more feminine. I can imagine waking up and being tired of my femininity, but I can't imagine ever getting tired of my masculinity. My male essence will never bore me because it's easy to give up long hair, but giving up the ability to hang a chandelier, hammer a nail, throw a punch, you can't give that up. It's too awesome.